Hey guys, I'm Jeff Johnson from TrafficVoodoo.com, and I'm about to show you something. I'm going to give you a tutorial, and I know it sounds fantastic, but trust me, I'm going to show you exactly how it works, and I'll give you some examples of what it is that we're doing. But I'm literally going to show you how you can start your own software company in your spare time starting today, and you don't even need to know anything about software programming, because thousands of programmers are willing to do all the programming work for you for free. Now, just to give you an idea how this stuff works, I have literally built $2 million plus businesses on the backs of free open source software. I give software away for free that other people developed. Several hundred thousand people have joined my mailing list because I either give them a copy of a modified open source software program, or I give them training on how to use open source software. So I literally just give them somebody else's software, and I'm building my businesses by giving away somebody else's software for free. Now, I'm not a software programmer. I don't even understand what most of the code means. I just know how to build lists by giving away the very same software that anyone else can give away for free, including you. And I know how to sell services to people that like to use nothing but free open source software. And that's what I'm going to share with you today in this presentation. However, let's talk about this. I'm just using my experiences for informational purposes. I'm not making any guarantees of income claims, nothing like that. So if you want to pause the video here and read the disclaimer, please feel free. But after you're done with it, let's go ahead and get started. Now, this tutorial is really about using open source software. So open source software is a development method for software where potentially thousands of experienced programmers continuously develop and improve a software program. Most of them donate their time and services for free to improve the software that's available. And then they just give their software away for free to anyone, including you and me. Now, here's the important part. But I'm not a lawyer, so please talk to a lawyer or visit the website where I got this information from. You can go to opensource.org and check it out for yourself. But this isn't legal advice, but this is the type of stuff that you'll see when you're looking at an open source software license. It says things like this that allows us to turn it into a business. Now, this particular license says, quote, "The license shall not restrict any party from selling or giving away the software, and the license shall not require a royalty or other fee for such sale." And what that means, according to my lawyer, and you can check with yours, but that means that you can literally take the open source software and you can give it away, or you can even sell it, and you don't have to pay a royalty to the person who actually developed it. It goes on to say that you can actually derive works, which means you can make modifications to the source code itself and come up with new variations of the software and give that away or sell that as well. So check with your lawyer, folks, but the whole open source initiative is worldwide. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Companies like, well, let's look at it first this way. Most of the software servers, most of the servers that run the internet, that when you're surfing the internet, use open source software. These programs like Apache and Linux and MySQL databases to make the websites work and to make the internet itself work. So MySQL is actually an open source software program. It's a database that runs some of the web servers that you're using today to watch this actual presentation. And the company that developed that software and gave away that software for free all these years was actually sold for $1 billion. That's billion dollars. By giving away free software that's used to run the internet, they were able to sell their company for $1 billion. Red Hat Linux is expected to do $745 million in revenue this year in 2010. And all they're doing is giving away modified versions of the free open source software program that is known as Linux that drives, once again, most of the internet servers that are out there. And WordPress is actually an open source software. So most of you people know what a blog is. WordPress is a popular form of a blog. It's actually an open source software program. Yet I read recently that the gentleman who's overseeing the whole development of WordPress, who initially started it and then he donated it to the open source community, and they have been maintaining it and improving it all these years. He was 26 years old and he was offered over $100 million to sell his company. All he does is give away at that time. He started out by giving away free software, and then he built this company by providing services around that free software. He was actually offered over $100 million when he was just 26 years old, and he said no because he knows how valuable open source can be when it comes to building businesses. Now, most people think Apple Mac is really cool. They talk about how fantastic the Mac operating X system is. But the truth is that that operating system is based on a version of Unix. And Unix is an open source software initiative. There are versions of Unix that are open source. And Apple Mac operating system is literally built upon Unix. So they're using an open source software program to to build their own operating system. It's the same operating system that's used inside the Apple Mac computers, and it's also used in the iPhone. It's also used in the new iPad and variations that are used in the iPod Touch as well. So people think Apple's really cool. They think they've got the best software in the world, but folks, they're using a source code that is available to anyone to use, and they've built a multi-billion-dollar business around that open source software. IBM has made billions selling hardware that runs an open source software program. And then they've made hundreds of millions, if not billions more, by selling services related to people who want to use open source software. So when people use open source software, they still have to know how to do it. So IBM actually sells consulting services to teach people how to use the software or teach them how to repair it. Or if they have a problem with it, IBM comes in and they install their software, and they install the hardware, and they've made billions of dollars using it. So here's the best part. You do not need to be a software programmer, folks, to go into the software development business. You don't even need to know anything about software development. Thousands of other people are willing to do the work for you for free, and that's what the open source software projects are all about. Now, I have built, as I said, $2 million plus businesses just by giving away free software and teaching people how to use that software. So I've seen it done. My friends have done it. Thousands of people online are literally building businesses around free open source software, and these people are continuously modifying the software for you, and they're developing new uses for it and new techniques for it, and then all your job is to figure out how to build a list with it and how to turn it into a service or to make money from it. So I see a huge opportunity for you that just opened up in the open source community last week. Last week, a friend of mine, Mike Filsaime, donated his Butterfly Marketing source code to the open source community. So now you can literally get the Butterfly Marketing source code for free. This is the same source code that was part of his Butterfly Marketing package, where thousands of people, including my friends and my clients, paid $2,000 to get their hands on it for. They've built huge businesses and huge lists in multiple different markets around the whole Butterfly Marketing software. And now Mike is donating the software to the open source community. He just did it last week, so it's 100% free. And if you'd like to get your own copy of the software for free, just head on over to butterflycodemadeeasy.com. That is butterflycodemadeeasy.com. Enter your email address, and Mike will send the download instructions over. However, if you're truly serious about getting started in the open source software business and you don't want to have to do any of the coding yourself, then you should join Mike's Open Source Code Developers community. If you join the Open Source Code Developers community, you're going to be surrounded by people who are working continuously to improve upon the Butterfly source code that you'll have for free. You can see what they're doing with it. You can see how they're using it to build their businesses, to build their lists, to run their websites, because it's actually a membership site software that's extremely powerful. And then you'll know exactly what you need to do or what you can do, what the possibilities are with the Butterfly source code. And if you join the developers community with my affiliate link, I'll also host a live webinar for you where I'll show you everything that you need to know about using open source software in general to build your business part-time, and how to build a massive list quickly simply by giving away somebody else's open source software for free. I'll also answer all of your questions on that live webinar about using open source software to build your business or your list, and then I'll record everything, and I'll give you a free copy of the recordings, and I'll even give you free copies of my open source cheat sheets where you can review them over and over again. But it's only if you use my link. So head on over to butterflycodemadeeasy.com, enter your email address, download the source code, join the developers community. My name is Jeff Johnson, and I'll talk to you very, very soon on the live webinar.